In Tilly's last pregnancy, she got huge. I mean, huge. And as we were watching the udder and preparing for an imminent delivery, we really wondered how many she'd have this time. Imagine our surprise when she popped out a little tiny buckling. He was the littlest kid that we'd ever had born on the farm. And you know, in these cases, sometimes they can make it. It really just depends on if they're small from the lack of nutrition or if they're small from a genetic disorder. He seemed to hold his head up okay until he got to work licking him off, maybe a little too vigorously. He seemed to be breathing okay. His membranes looked pink. And while we waited for the other kids to be born, I went ahead and gathered some colostrum because I knew this little guy would likely need to be bottle fed. But only time will tell. Everything depends on if he's willing to stand, because you can't nurse unless you know how to stand. And little Newt just had trouble. He was cold, he wasn't standing. So we worked on keeping him warm and trying to decide what to do. This just shows how fast a normal kid stands. It's usually within seconds of delivery. So we could tell that little Newt just wasn't quite going to be able to live with his siblings and fight for a teat. So this little one right here, this little buckling, we are nervous leaving him out here with Tilly. She has a history of rejecting, but also he's tiny and it's gonna be like 30 degrees tonight. So Lydia's just gonna keep him in her backpack, take him to school.
Yep.
Stuff him in her pillowcase.
Yeah, feed him every 2 hours.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
I know, he's all tired now. I always hate to bring kids into the house because I know the second I do that, the mamas are way more likely to reject them because our smells are all over the kid now. But in this case, there really wasn't anything that we could do. It was going to be really cold that night and he wasn't going to be able to nurse on his own. So we brought him inside, wrapped him up in a heating pad and a towel, and Salem kept a close watch. The next day he was looking a lot better, though he still had trouble lifting his head.
It's so hard to keep your head up.
His ears are starting to get normal. But he was standing. So we decided to see if we hurried and brought him out, if Tilly would take him back and he could start nursing again, though the odds were pretty low. Tilly seemed sort of interested at first, but the second she smelled him, she knew she didn't want anything to do with him. And you know, he wasn't really likely to be able to fight off the other two strong dolings for a teat anyway, so we knew he was gonna be our little house pet. Newt, do you want some food? Do you want a bottle? As each day went on, he got a little bit better at drinking from the bottle, though he could only drink in really tiny amounts. Guys, I just have to show you. He has like, tip your head down. He has like 3 white hairs on the top. Tilly and her twin dolings were doing great. They were already getting some outside time, but unfortunately Tilly had hardly any milk left. Those dolings drank it all. What you see right now is just a lot of swelling as we wait for her milk to come in. So there was not very much left. The good news is our other doe, Hazel, was just going into labor and I knew I could sneak a little colostrum from her to help Newt get even stronger. She delivered twin dolings as well, and we were able to sneak some milk from her just in time for Newt's feeding. Good job. He's doing good. So with bottle-fed babies, it's important that you feel their belly, make sure it's not getting too big or too hard. So that was like 1/2 ounce, but that's good enough for this one. And I think that little extra colostrum helped a lot because he got a lot more energetic and bouncy, just like a normal kid should be. There was just one problem. His little hooves do not grip very well on our tile floor.
So get 5 hooves, cut off only the pinky.
There we go. Looks like it'll work.
He looks so funny. He's like, what the heck is going on? Okay. You look so weird.
Maybe that'll work. Is that weird?
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, Cody, come on, Cody, 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 Cody.
Yay! Oh, one fell off.
Oh, lost all of them on the way there.
So now we got him eating, now we've got him running, but we still have a big hurdle to overcome. So my only concern with little Newt is his ability to run away from a mama out there, because if we put him out there full time during the day, we'll go out to feed him obviously, but he'll need to be able to run away from the mamas because they're going to be a little bit mean to him. So we need him to be strong enough to do that. After a few days, we decided it was time for him to come meet all of his half siblings and full siblings. So we put the mamas away so that the kids could have a fun play date. Goats really need to live around other goats. It's how they learn proper goat behavior. So he was a little weird because he honestly had never seen another goat. So he was, he needed to learn some manners. That's his full sibling he's standing next to right now.
Oh my gosh, look at the size.
Look at that size difference. He's trying to eat from...
He doesn't know.
That's funny. You can't eat from them, Newt.
He'll learn once you leave him out here now.
What are you doing? He's like obsessed with her.
And she's like, go away.
You're being weird, Newt. Don't be weird.
Leave me alone!
It got real cold here. Even in Arizona, we get cold. And it was sweater day for all of the baby goats. And it was a little big on Newt, but it fit. Come here. Oh, he's got to go potty. Well, we had to bring little Newt inside. It is just too cold. And all of the mamas are cuddling with their babies. And it's so sad. So he's going to be in here. It's so dark. Are you going to be okay? Pretty soon, Newt got old enough to be with the other kids in the barn at night, though he was always the smallest. So Newt, you know, he was the first one born, and he's 4 weeks old, I think. Yeah, exactly 4 weeks old. Those two back there are 2 weeks old, and so he's growing, he's getting stronger, but he's definitely not catching up. So he'll probably be small his whole life. As Newt got older, he had a few health problems. He just seemed to not do well with his environment. We have a problem with Newt. A couple days ago, I noticed that he had scours, which is basically diarrhea, and the problem with that is it can indicate, you know, him getting into something, or it could be coccidia. So I did a fecal test, and he was full of coccidia, which is crazy because we preventatively treat for coccidia. I tested all the other kids just to be safe, and nobody else had any coccidia. Everybody else was nice and clear. So I'm thinking it may just be that because he was a runt, he just has a lower immune system, is just a little bit more susceptible. But after some treatment and a little extra food, he recovered. And before long, it was time to say goodbye. While we love him, we just can't keep so many pets. We already keep so many of our retired girls that we would have a whole farm full of pets if we ever kept any wethers. So when you see boys born here, odds are we're not gonna keep them unless we raise them up as a buck, which is really, really rare.
He is. Strong too.
So where is Newt today? Well, we sold him to a family a couple hours from us, but then they had to rehome all of their goats. And so now he lives at our friend Amberly's house, and she happens to have a YouTube channel. So you can follow Amberly here at Desert Heart Dairy Goats, and you can see how Newt is doing. She recently took him on a fun trip to the pet store, so you can go watch that here. It was kind of fun to revisit this last baby goat season, even with all of its unexpected problems. But I'm so glad Newt's doing well now, even though he's gonna be a little bit small. Hopefully he'll have a long, happy life.